All right. I've got Clifton Bennett here with Cartersville Strength and Fitness. So I wanted to do a quick little introduction for him, and then I'm going to let him talk for himself. Um, Clifton has a bachelor's in exercise science, certified personal trainer, level two CrossFit coach, FMS certified, level or one and two, corrective exercise specialist, also kettlebell certified, which sounds really interesting to me. So you have to tell me about that one. And has 22 years of experience doing it. And so I just wanted to introduce you to Clifton and to tell you a little bit about his business. Clifton is the founder and owner of Cartersville Strength and Fitness. His business is not your typical gym from the conversations I've had with him. He is community focused, which we love, is dedicated to helping individuals achieve their fitness goals through expert coaching, great options that he has over there as far as results driven classes and things like CrossFit, X4, and High Rocks, and also has some supportive wellness initiatives as well that we may get into. But well, welcome Clifton to the best specialist in Cartersville is what I'm going to call it show. So welcome Clifton.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So just the easy one and what everybody wants to know is what made you become a coach in the first place? Can you take me back to that time?
uh, well, I've always had an interest in physical activity. I wrestled in high school, worked out all through school. Always had a love and passion for it, and as I got into college and started, trying to figure out what was next and what I was actually going to do, it just kind of seemed to be the right fit for me. I've always enjoyed helping people. I enjoy exercise. I enjoy, all aspects of it. And it just I kind of fell into the, I guess you would call it the specializing in, seniors and working with them.
Mm,
That kind of just happened. I was in a gym where it was predominantly seniors, and I kind of figured out real quick that that was a good fit for me. I enjoyed them, and they seemed to enjoy me. So that's kind
right.
of where I, you know, fell into.
Cool. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that a little more. But what is something I guess as far as Cartersville Strength and Fitness? What kind of common fitness or health issues? What draws people to Cartersville Strength and Fitness? Who are the people that are coming to you guys?
I mean, we have a great community. I think any CrossFit affiliate or gym like mine will tell you their community is probably the most what they're most proud of, and that's no different with me. The community, the people, my coaches are great. I've got a great coaching staff. The members are all helpful. One thing I always tell people, because it is an intimidating environment until you get in the door. Uh, Once you
Right.
get in, people tend to see how helpful and how welcoming everyone is. I think the thing really that sets us apart, um, you know, we all want to be athletes. We all want to be in really good shape, and we want to be fit, and we, want to live the best that we can. And I think that a lot of people are intimidated or afraid because, they've had injuries in the past, or they're battling
Mm,
injuries and they don't really know if
mhm.
they're able to do it. And I think what really sets us apart is being able to kind of bridge that gap where, if you're hurt, I always tell people, if you're hurt, come find me. We're gonna figure it out. We'll fix it. If I can't help you, I'll find somebody who can. And I
Right.
think that's always been a really good segue to a good relationship and building that trust. And I always tell people, thank you for trusting me with your fitness, because
Right.
it is a big deal. So
Right. Yeah, that's good, man. It's the same thing that I deal with very often is trying to find that next step for someone when they do get over that injury and
mhm.
they're afraid to move. And I'm going, no, 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 we're going to keep moving,
Yeah.
and that's where that's a perfect match. I like that. So some of the clients that you mentioned, and when we had talked before, you mentioned that as well. Some of your older clients, that seem to be kind of where you guys matched up really well together. I would say that somebody that you enjoy treating or enjoy working with, or would be those type of people. What would I guess if I'm seeing someone at my clinic, what would be the ideal person to say, hey, now that we're done with therapy, I know Clifton, and they're going to help you with this. What would be that person?
So the person that I enjoy working with the most are the people who,
Hmm.
have been active in the past and they've been out of it for a long time because they've been battling injuries and they just kind of fell into that cycle of, that pain
Hmm.
cycle where they try to go back to it, but they just can't get over the hump. And,
Right.
you know, I like to bring them out of that and get them back in the gym, because a lot of times what ends up happening is they end up getting a lot better. They're back
Hmm.
in shape, and I end up, instead of me having to push them, I'm having to kind of hold the reins back. Like, hey, we don't want to do too much. You still gotta train
Right.
smart. So those kind of clients are the ones that I like. I really like, we work our whole lives to retire and enjoy retirement. And,
Right.
I used to do this thing before I owned CrossFit, when I just gotten started. I called it retirement rewind, where, I had
Hmm.
these people who retired and they're like, I just can't enjoy retirement because all I do is hurt all the time. And I'm
Hmm.
not able to go and do. And I figured out real quick that if you can get somebody moving out of pain and enjoying life,
Yeah.
they'll be yours forever. Like, they'll never
Yeah.
leave. They'll
Yeah.
always be willing to work and do what you say. And that's
Hmm.
that's really been
Yeah.
my big focus. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you build that trust real quick that way.
yeah. Mhm.
Then they're telling their friends. We call them super fans. They become a
Yep.
super fan of your
Yep.
place, and that's an awesome thing, man. When we see that start snowballing like that. So if someone were to come to your gym, or at the beginning, like, hey, I'm walking in the door, it's never been in here before. What's that journey like if they when they come in to becoming a member there? What does that typically look like? I know that can be different for different people.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously we probably start with a phone call and just a
Okay.
conversation, just to get some background. They come in, we do an evaluation.
Okay.
Everybody's going to get a pretty similar evaluation, and we kind of go from there. Some
Okay.
people are super timid and super afraid and reserved. Um,
Hmm.
and we just try to break the ice. And what I try to tell people is, you're not nearly as fragile as you think you are. Your body is
Okay.
meant to move, perform, and do things, even into your 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah.
I've got people in their 80s. Again, I'm like, we probably don't need to do as much as you want to do.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then I've got people in their 40s that I'm like, you can do a lot more. So it really is a
Right.
mindset, just really trying to shift that mindset too.
Right.
Uh,
That's
but
good,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's preaching to me. I love it. So, just to kind of to tell people a little bit about what you do, when would you? I know this is again very highly individualized, but what's the person that you would recommend more of that personal training versus one of the group classes, and then we'll try to talk about each one of the group classes separately. But
well, I'm gonna,
would
I'm gonna get in trouble here. So
okay,
I am not the guy to come to if weight loss is your main goal. I cannot
okay, all right,
stand. I am not a fan of the whole weight loss journey thing. Not to say
okay,
that I don't respect it and don't understand. Hey, people need to lose a few pounds, and they need to
right,
get in shape. And because if you're able to be really active and you don't really have any limitations, or you don't have any reservations about your abilities, that's why we have the classes. If you've
right.
had past injuries, trauma, things like that, you've had
Mm-hmm.
surgeries, those are the kind of people that and they're just not sure they're ready for class.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ones that I really want to get in and
Okay.
work with one on one, and then
Right.
let them build some confidence. And then one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to, you know, realize that, okay, I can do the classes and I'm going to kind of graduate on to that, or
Right.
I really like one-on-ones and I kind of want to stay doing
Right.
this. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
really it.
Okay. If you had that person that has never seen a barbell before, maybe I lifted weights, but I lifted weights at a machine, with
Yeah,
machines.
yeah,
I've never seen a barbell. Is that the kind of person you're going to teach? Hey, you can get some coaching for sure, but this is how we're moving this thing. This is how we're putting weights on and off. Even, the clips, man, putting a
yeah,
clip on the outside, right? If they've never seen
yep.
it's a whole new thing and it can be
Uh-huh.
intimidating for sure.
Yeah, and again, that goes back to I've got a really good coaching staff. They do a
Yeah.
really good job. I'm not moving a lot of barbells with my clients unless they're just like, hey, I really want to touch a barbell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big kettlebell guy. I love the kettlebells.
Okay.
I've been doing
Yeah.
that since '09 and
Okay.
right before I got into CrossFit. So that's kind of my world and where I like
Right.
to live. And my clients love them, and
Man, that's cool.
sometimes I say that to people and they're like, you mean you got 80-year-olds that are messing with kettlebells? I'm like, absolutely. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. They love it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely, man. I'll tell you, we got 80-year-olds messing with kettlebells in here too. I
yeah,
guarantee it. That
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna move some things. That's good. Hey, they got to live life, man. They got to move things.
100%. Yeah.
Same kind of question, but again, just trying to parse this out for someone that's watching. When would you recommend? And I know again, when would you recommend, or how do you work out with the person as you're talking to them? Hey, maybe CrossFit's the way to go for you, or maybe X4 might be the way to go for you, or High Rocks. I know it's a little different, but I'll let you tell me.
Um, CrossFit is more competitive. If I've got somebody that used to be an athlete and they still got that itch to compete,
Right.
that's kind of where I'll push them. If I've got somebody that hasn't worked out in a really long time, they do have some weight they want to get rid of, and they just kind of want to get their feet wet again. I almost always am like, hey, let's go X4 for a little while, and then we can
Uh,
always move to the other side of the wall and get into CrossFit.
oh yeah.
The endurance athletes, they are loving High Rocks.
Hmm.
I really can't believe how much High Rocks has taken off.
Yes.
But they love it. So it's probably X4 is the most popular program I have.
Okay.
Followed very closely by High Rocks. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, that's interesting, man. And this may just be me, and you certainly are in that world more than I am. But if you would have asked me what High Rocks was a few years ago, I would have looked at you like I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
The first people I knew that were doing it were flying to Texas and all these places, and
Yeah.
now it's
Yeah.
like, man, you go to Cartersville. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's
Yeah.
where you
Yeah.
go.
Hmm.
It's kind of cool. I love how that took off too. I'm gonna give you. We're got a few more, but what about a client success story? Is there somebody that I know 22 years you've been doing this a while? Is there somebody that comes to mind or something that you want to highlight of, hey, this is why we do things the way we do them. Look at where this person started and where they are now, that kind of thing. Is there one of those you could share with us?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everybody's different. So I think I make the joke all the time that we're like the land of misfit toys. So I
Hmm.
kind of get some people that are kind of at the end of their rope. They've kind of tried and exhausted all possibilities, and they've had some people give up on them. So I've got a client who I've had their son has been a member forever. Daughter, wife's a member. They're clients. And his mom had a really bad accident after surgery. It kind of went wrong, and
Hmm.
she was basically paralyzed. And they told her, they said, you're probably never going to walk again. You're in a motorized wheelchair, and this is probably it for you. Um, but they didn't really want to accept that, which is another thing. You got to have the right mindset. And they asked me, they said, you think you can do anything with her? I said, well, we don't have anything to lose. We can try. And
Right.
that was
Yeah.
May. May will be a year ago. So a year ago this month. And she came in. she had been in that chair for a year already, and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go.
Right.
Well, we started by crawling. We just got on the floor and we started crawling. And
Hmm.
from there, we started working on just standing up and holding on. And, you know, every session got a little better. And here we are a year later. She's walking on her own,
Oh man.
doing really well. And,
Yeah.
got rid of, all of her, she had a hoist lift in the, getting in and out of bed
Oh
with
yeah.
it. It was,
Yeah.
bad situation. And
Yeah.
she's living life now. And
Yeah, man.
she's not completely out of the chair, but she's able to get up and move and do a lot
Right.
more than she ever thought she could. And I think the thing about it is that makes it the most rewarding is seeing how her husband reacts to it.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Right. That whole family aspect comes in again, like what you were talking
100%.
about before.
Yeah,
Is man,
100%.
independence. Man, none of us want to be dependent on anybody,
Nobody.
and the like you said, the husband, man, just it's life changing for both of them, and probably more people than that in their
Yeah.
lives. So that's awesome, man. I love to hear that kind of stuff. If there was something like if you were to, it's funny. Like in my very limited experience of representing shift here in Cartersville, it's funny is like when I get the chance to get in front of somebody and they give me that, hey, what's one thing you wish that people knew about Cartersville Strength and Fitness? What is it? I kind of think about my elevator spiel, and I hadn't got it down yet, but you may have a good one. I might steal it.
Yeah. uh, I've been doing this a long time. We're in our 16th year at Cartersville Strength and Fitness. And I just think, with any profession, anything, you've got people that are just in the profession that they're meant to be in, and that's their wheelhouse.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of people are passionate about gyms and working out,
Hmm.
but I believe this with all my heart that I'm in the industry that I'm supposed to be in for a reason.
Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome.
I don't want to say I'm the best at what I do,
Hmm.
but I want to be the best at what I do, and I
Right.
try on a daily basis to
Right.
be that guy. And I
Right.
think when you have people that go above and beyond like that,
Hmm.
you got to give them an opportunity. And
Yeah. Yeah.
if you give them that opportunity, that's all they're asking for, and that's all I've ever asked for.
Yeah.
Give me an opportunity. If I
Right.
can make a difference,
Right.
you've won and I've won, and
Yes.
you've got a home gym, and I've got a new client, and hopefully a friend, and
Right.
build relationships. That's all I've ever done. If out of
Man.
anything and any member that we've ever had, all I've wanted to do is just build a relationship. And
Yeah.
if you can build a relationship, and I had a wrestling coach tell me one time, if you want to really be successful, surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
And that's all I've ever focused on, surrounding myself
Right.
with good people. And I think I'm pretty successful in that
That's awesome.
aspect.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I love it. That's a great answer. Just kind of wrapping it up, is there any advice you would give an individual that's maybe uh, dealing with an injury or trying to prevent injuries and still want to be active? I think I heard some of it earlier. One of my favorite lines that you said already is "You're not as fragile as you think you are." Let's get to work. But what do you think about that? Is there any advice you give somebody that says, "Hey, I don't want I don't want to cause an injury by starting this new exercise thing." What do you think about that?
So I think, and this is where how I kind of approach everything, and it goes back to that being fragile thing.
Hmm.
Pain is just your body's way of telling you, hey, something's not right. It may not even be
Hmm.
coming from what's actually the problem. But
Right.
when you're in pain or you've got an injury, you can come out of it and you can get to the other side. It just really
Right.
depends on how bad
Right.
you want to get there. It's like anything
Right.
else. Pain is pain is not something that you have to live with or
Hmm.
something that you got to change your life and build your life around pain. I've always been in mindset of if I'm in pain or I've got something going wrong, or it's not the way I want it, I've got to focus on getting out of that so I can continue
Yeah.
with what I want to do. Because you only get one shot. You get one shot at this life. You got to make the most of it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, man. Yeah.
anybody can get
I
out.
tell.
Anybody can get out of pain and get over something. You may not be. I'm 44 now. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't have the capacity I had when I was 28 and 30, but I can still
Right.
go because,
Mm-hmm.
it's not just, getting out of pain in the gym. It's everything outside of the gym. It's the sleep, the
Mm-hmm.
recovery, nutrition.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's a, it's a full-time job taking care of yourself, but you
Yeah,
got to
man.
do it
It's
for longevity.
a comprehensive approach, and
Hmm.
what we were talking about our people that have a couple of years on them. That goal of, man, being able to play with your grandkids it doesn't
Hmm.
start when you got grandkids. We need to get it before then, but we can help
100%. Yeah.
anybody. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Yep.
cool. I tell people all the time, Americans aren't dying of sore shoulders; they're dying of heart disease. So, if
Yes.
we get moving, uh, that we're going to prevent one of those things. And you can, and I can help you with the shoulder pain.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
help you with the heart disease. So let's get that before it's done.
100%. Yep.
Yeah. All right, man. Um, any last thing that you would say to anybody? So I got two things. Anything you'd say to anybody that's considering joining CrossFit? I'm sorry, Cartersville Strength and Fitness, and then just list how would they get in contact with you? What's the best way to say I need to talk to Clifton? How would I do that?
Uh, just shoot me a text or give me a call. My number is 770-878-1203. You can
Awesome.
also email me at fittestyouforlife@gmail.com. I try to get back to people as quick as I can. I've got a great team. If
Yeah.
I can't help you, if you're more on the athletic side of things, I've got a great guy for that too.
Mhm.
If you're just wanting to get into classes, my coaching staff's second to none. They're great. They'll love on you just like I will. So
That's
uh,
awesome.
just
Well, thanks a lot, man. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah, man. I think that's awesome, and I appreciate your time. I'm gonna stop the recording here,
All
and
right.